This is Big E.
I want residuals.
It is a whip-ass Wednesday, Freak Nation. And loads of things whipping ass on a Wednesday. I just can't. Hold on. I got to get my YouTube glasses on, guys. Sorry. I speeded up on me. Much better, right? Boom. There we go. I just can't. We got 30 minutes or so to fill, and there's so many things. Large kicking ass tonight.
Wait, what?
A large kicking ass.
Oh, a large.
Yes, a large.
Got it.
I'm going to be taking my daughter to the Suns Mavericks game tonight.
And what did she ask for?
Earplugs.
Yeah.
Earplugs. It's okay. I get it, man. I get it.
She's been raised around racetracks. And, 50% of the time she requests earplugs. Most of the time we force her to wear them.
Right.
But, going to a basketball game last year, she was freaked out by the noise. A racetrack baby was freaked out by the noise in a basketball arena. Blew my mind.
I think when you have, 15, 16, 17,000 people surrounding you with that noise, it's a little intimidating versus a couple little old race cars with 40,000 horsepower.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to justify anything, but I'm excited. And what happened. However, I thought the Suns would dispose of Dallas early, but they left the Mavericks in that game. And hopefully Jason Kidd and crew watched about the last 8-9 minutes of that game to bring it in the first quarter, second, third, fourth quarter tonight and give us a hell of a game tonight.
What happened to the Mavericks defense? They just quit playing defense for 3.5 quarters of that basketball game. And for those of you that don't know, the Mavericks during the regular season, at least, they were top 10 in defense in the NBA. And for the most part,
Richie, the luxury that Monty Williams has, and they said it on the broadcast, and I completely agree, how deep that bench is for the Suns. You could just rotate dudes in on Luka and wear his overweight ass out.
Luka, I don't care if he's overweight or not. He hits threes from outside the arena.
Well, Crasher,
he's insane. He is insane.
Well, it's the way he gets it to the rack. He's like a doughboy. He's slow motion, but how he finds the rim, how he finds a lane that is nowhere near being open. I don't watch him enough, and thank goodness. It's like I'm watching more of the Suns in these playoffs than I ever have this year because I don't have Ball eSports.
Bally?
On Valley Sports on YouTube, on Hulu. It's great. This is awesome. So anyway, going to the Suns Mavs game tonight. It's going to be fun. I'll be sporting some Mavs colors. My beautiful daughter will be sporting the Booker jersey. Did you wash it, by the way, Crasher?
It's hanging up right now.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, she got toothpaste on it after the game Monday night because she didn't want to take it off. So she brushed her teeth in it, and then it just went. The number 1 became 11 because it was 1 and then a line of toothpaste. So, yeah, had to change that.
Richie, how much money do you have on this game tonight, buddy?
I haven't put my bets down yet. I have not put my bets down yet. Made some money on the previous game, so I'm going to try and do that again tonight. My what bet I've been crushing lately. The last 2 games I've bet this particular prop and it's hit. So I'm gonna give this for free to the Free Nation so I can make you guys some money.
For free.
Gonna give this for free.
Oh yeah, Richie.
Mikal Bridges over under steals and blocks 1.5. Take the over if you can get it at 1.5. And I haven't looked today, but he's had 1.5 over 1.5 steals and blocks in every single game of the playoffs except for 1 so far.
Nice.
So book it. Take it to the bank.
Richie, you want to bet this game, you and me?
# Richie books it.
You want to bet this game? You got to give me 6 points, though.
6 points?
Yep.
6 points is a lot. 6 points is a lot. Because they barely covered the first game the Suns did.
It certainly looked like they would cover for 3 quarters.
Yeah, and the only reason they did that is because the Mavericks missed that last 3-pointer at the buzzer there, or else they would have been able to cover. So I think I feel more comfortable like 4.5. I think I'd play like 5. I can lay 5. I can lay 5. I think that's fair.
Okay. Loser has to do our Friday broadcast with their shirt off.
What?
I don't know
Okay.
if the Freak Nation's ready because of how wide I am. I think I would be like a not bad.
Time out though. Where are you going to be on Friday, Kenny?
Oh, right. Well, I'm going to be shirtless at the Supercross race in Salt Lake.
You're going to be in the middle of a press conference for the Supercross finale. Are you sure you want to go shirtless in the middle of that room full of media?
You know, this is true, Crasher. How much confidence do I have in my Mavericks going in tonight? Richie, why does your Wi-Fi suck? It's like you're on freaking dial-up, bro.
It's okay.
I don't know. It's out in the other room.
Maybe if you lose, you step into 2022 with your freaking Wi-Fi. God, it's horrible. All right, so the next week, you're right, because we're
now you're changing it.
Actually,
now, come on.
Well, hey, Crasher, there's some opportunities there for us. Hey, how you doing, buddy? So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, how you doing? I'm kidding. I got to take my shirt off here real quick. I'm doing a hit. Well, what happened? I took the Mavericks. No, I took the Mavericks. No, sorry, son. You can't be a part of the show.
Hey, Jet Lawrence. Hey, Eli Tomac.
See,
hey, Ryan Dungy, you coming back to outdoor? Yes, you are. And you're right here to talk to us with a half-naked Kenny. Okay, fun.
That would be great, though. Is like any guest that we have has to be topless, too. Well, I'm assuming that I'm losing. Why would I place a bet if I think I'm going to lose? Right?
Feeling confident that you're going to actually show up and that's going to change the tide for the Mavericks.
Hey, does Clancy still have our luchador masks?
No.
I think so. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
That's right. Those were usually used for bet payoffs.
Got it. Okay, so Richie, I'll give you 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And okay, so Monday, I'm going to kick in the balls Monday. The loser will go topless. Okay?
Deal.
All right. Crash, you down with that?
I'm not a part of this, so it doesn't matter if I'm down.
Well, it's a kick in the balls Monday, so why not?
I'm not placing bets.
Okay, there you go.
And by that time, the Suns will have swept the series. So, yeah. That's even better.
Richie, you want to take that bet?
2 bets in one show. Here we go.
No. The Mavericks will probably win one of their home games, either games 3 or 4, and the Suns will win in 5.
It's just tough to think that the Mavericks are going to win 4 games. It's just
not against this Suns team. Yeah. What was the stat they showed at the beginning of the game last night? That the Mavericks have not beat the Suns since I think it was November of 2019.
Yeah, I think the last 9 meetings.
Yeah, come on.
10? Well, now 10, right.
And somehow they're supposed to get 4 in these next couple of not happening. All
right, so it's a whip-ass Wednesday, Freak Nation. Rob Halford of Judas Priest. I don't know why I'm crossing my fingers because they already got in. Judas Priest gets into the Hall of Fame. Yes. And we'll go back a few years with Rob Halford of Judas Priest talking about a hopeful induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And this is when he was promoting their upcoming 50th anniversary before the pandemic hit, if you may remember. Remember that, Crasher?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to also remember a part of that conversation right now. Come on, not Glenn Tipton. Who was the argument with?
It was KK Downing.
KK Downing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Didn't he say, and I'm totally blindsiding you guys with this question right now, but didn't he say that if the Hall of Fame induction were to come to fruition, which we all kind of assumed it would eventually, that they would all be on stage together for the acceptance? So that means KK and Rob together. And okay.
There's not horrible blood between these guys. there's a little bit of sour blood, but to have an induction without KK Downing would be sacrilege. And every Judas Priest fan knows that.
Got it.
Every Judas Priest fan knows that.
But it's been a crazy couple of years.
Yes.
Several.
Yeah,
years.
I was actually reading about that today because I was reading about their induction, and they were explaining how KK Downing basically made an offshoot version of Judas Priest within the last couple of years and calls it KK's Priest.
Yeah.
And the original drummer of Judas Priest splintered off and is with KK Downing now as well.
Wow.
And so that article is essentially saying like this opens the door now for them to reunite on stage at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, which would be pretty awesome.
That actually opening the door. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's a cool perspective.
You know, you'll find this out, Richie. I mean, you are one sour millennial. You have hatred for so many people out there that when you hit a certain age, you'll realize that hatred has no business being inside of your body.
Richie doesn't have hatred.
Other than for Robert Sarver. That was the biggest problem that I had, was buying these tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow Robert Sarver is going to pocket some of this money that I purchased these 2 tickets. Can't stand that.
Is that why you didn't get 3? I'm kidding.
No, that's why I don't eat at Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby.
Right.
I don't shop there. We don't need to go into those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you buy Nikes? Yeah, I do. All right, Freak Nation. Rob Halford and some whipping ass with my good friends Crash and Kenny.
Wait, and Richie.
Next.
Have you heard about Lucas Brake Parts Cleaner? Lucas Brake Parts Cleaner is made of the highest quality components, giving you superior performance and leaving no residue. How do you apply this? You apply Lucas Brake Parts Cleaner liberally to the parts that need to be cleaned. You'll eliminate brake fluid, grease, dust, and dirt components. We know a little bit about that here in the desert, I'd say. And basically what that does is that makes you a happy driver because now your brake noise is gone and your performance has gone up. Boom.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Hey, I'm Kyle Busch. The biggest racing weekend ever at Worldwide Technology Raceway is coming June 3rd through the 5th. The party starts Thursday with the NASCAR Fan Fest and Hauler Parade at Ballpark Village. Cup practice and truck qualifying on Friday, Cup qualifying and the Toyota 200 on Saturday, and it all wraps up on Sunday with the Enjoy Illinois 300. This is the first time in a lifetime to see the NASCAR Cup Series at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Go to worldwidetechnologyraceway.com to get your tickets now. Brought to you in part by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
What does not kill you on the next Conan makes you stronger. A plague of women. Conan. A scourge of wizards. Magic. I hate magic. A hulking opponent. I'll be back. And I'll be waiting. And a seductive surprise. For a more dangerous enemy. For Conan, the series. Sunday at 2 here on UPN Channel 13.
Go ahead, Richie.
Conan.
That was TV in the 90s, my friend.
Conan.
You know who Lou Ferrigno is?
Yes. The Hulk.
Yes, he was in that.
That was
spot.
him?
Yeah. Not as Conan, as
Oh,
a nemesis or something.
okay. Okay. But yeah, just the way the voiceover guy said Conan killed me.
Richie, we have, how many senses do we have? 5 senses? 6. No, the 6th sense is the one.
5. We have 5. We have 5
Okay,
senses.
5 senses, right?
And the 6th sense is from the movie.
Got it. Hey, Richie, Lou Ferrigno is missing a sense. Do you know what that is?
Smell. I know this because, but it's not. I don't remember it.
Can't
off the top
hear.
of my head.
You can't hear.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Duh.
And you'll see early on in some of his acting resume where he has that voice of not being able to hear. Crasher was a world champion bodybuilder. And then when the Hulk came out in like the late 70s, it was him as the Hulk and Bill Bixby as what's the Charlie Parker? What's the guy's name?
This is actually a funny story about this. So the character's actual name is Bruce Banner, but for the TV show, they changed it to David Banner because the producers of the show thought that Bruce was too like feminine a name. So like, oh, we can't do that. So we got to call him David Banner instead.
Wow.
Bruce is a feminine name?
That's that from, if I remember correctly, that's why they changed the name. Yes, because they didn't like the name Bruce because they thought it was too, not masculine enough, basically.
Wonder if they had some early insight as to Bruce Jenner and they just couldn't get that out of their head.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Not one of our more stellar moments, Freak Nation.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Don't.
Back in the 70s, people just had absolute tunnel vision on any of those thoughts, any of those ideas.
Bruce, that's your uncle's name.
I know.
And
absolutely not feminine.
they're not going to call. Oh,
I
anyway.
know. I know.
Who's whipping ass for you, Richie, on a Whip Ass Wednesday?
History was made earlier this week in the Atlantic League. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but congratulations to Kelsey Whitmore. She is the first ever woman to start in an Atlantic League baseball game. She started in left field for the Staten Island Fairy Hawks.
Hey, that name's too feminine to me. The Fairy Hawks. What's going on? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Richie. You're on a flow. Go ahead.
And yeah, so she started in left field, batted ninth. She's 23 years old. She spent the last several years playing like semi-professionally, I guess, with the United States Women's National Baseball Team from 2014 to 2019. She's played in some other different leagues. You see here, she also was the first time ever that in a professional baseball game there was an all-female battery with a pitcher and catcher back in 2016. And yeah, congratulations. That's pretty awesome. We're seeing a lot of that lately. Like I remember a couple weeks ago, we brought you the story of how Eve Gascon was the starting goaltender in an OHL game, in a CHL game, in the ECHL. And now we get Kelsey's story. So women are continuing to kick some major ass when it comes to taking over man's jobs. Keep doing it.
Love that. Crasher, what about you? Who's whipping some ass today?
I was going to go elsewhere, but I like what we were sent by Triple F on the Joan Jett whipping Ted Nugent's ass.
Right.
Basically, was it Rolling Stone that came out with their top 100 guitarists, and Joan Jett was on there. Now, I will say that, let me get back to some of his quotes. I will say Ted Nugent, as much of an a-hole as he is as a person, he has some legitimate dispute here. I mean, how could Ricky Medlock not be in there? Come on, that is pretty awful. But he really calls out Joan Jett. Why is Joan Jett a soul? He literally says you have to be a soulless prick to put Joan Jett on the list and not some other names. I get it. Some of the other names that were left off, that was wrongfully so, but Joan Jett deserves to be on the top 100. And he's just a jerk. So anyway, she fired back and it was pretty epic. Trying to find her quotes now. Yeah, like Ted Nugent is saying there's no hate. Why is this whole article about Ted Nugent and it's not about Joan Jett's quotes? He's basically saying there's no hate, but Joan Jett, I can't even find what she said, but she fired back on him. She's a badass. I've liked her since the beginning.
I will see if I can pull that up for you, Crasher. Here you go.
Oh, there's her actual quote. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Ted Nugent has to live with being Ted Nugent. This is the guy who crapped his pants, literally, so he didn't have to go in the army. No wonder Ted Nugent and Donald Trump are buds.
It's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Ted, I think, who else? A few other artists out there that I'm a big fan of their music, and I did my best not to let their just not even political beliefs, but just their beliefs and their mannerisms. Not mannerisms.
There you go.
Or their manners, their lack of empathy. I still listen to some of their music, but there's just a little bit of a while I'm listening. Like I hope someone doesn't hear me listening to the extended version of Stranglehold. Anyway, says all right, Freak Nation, let's do this. I've got one for you on a Whip Ass Wednesday. Let me go ahead and stop sharing that. Let's do this. Share screen. Right. Thank you, Crasher, doing the math for me. All right. So here we go. All right. So after many years of being teased about getting into the Hall of Fame, they've been nominated several times. Judas Priest finally gets into the Hall of Fame. Excuse me. Whoa, man. I'm about to
sneeze.
Something's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Come on, look up.
Judas Priest.
Look into your ring light. Don't let it happen.
Judas Priest gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, one of the greatest songwriters in the history of songwriting. One of the most influential, not just women, but one of the most influential musicians in the history of music. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Carly Simon's in. Pat Benatar's in, finally. Duran Duran's in. Eminem is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Anyway. Judas Priest is in the freaking Hall of Fame. And this was Rob Halford about 4 years ago, I believe it was.
Makes sense, yeah.
Right? Talking about getting into the Hall of Fame as they're celebrating their 50th year of the Priest. It's the stuff that goes on off the mic that just make you go, wow. When you're talking about 50 years of Priest. And if I get into some waters that I shouldn't be talking about, stop me, Rob. But everything that we just talked about, can we talk about on the air, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so the 50 years of Priest will happen when? The tour. Okay?
I guess when Old Lang Syne is sung out around the kitchen table in Walsall, will is there a 50 years today thing? 50 years today.
Yeah.
2020 is the official 50th anniversary of Priest.
It's amazing.
It just sounds nuts, man. We've been making metal for 50 years. It's crazy. And we can't do it again. Like sports, you can't do what you do without your beautiful fans. I know we have a lot of metalheads on the Freak Nation. So thank you to everybody that has looked after Priest for all those years. But we got that happening for all of 2020. It'll probably bleed over into 2021 as well. Because we've got a lot of places to go and people to see.
Which is another reason why I want to scream out to the Hall of Fame. And I mean, this is the most obvious year. This May coming up, 50 years of Priest. Hello, it's got to happen, right?
It would be beautiful. This is our second nomination,
right?
In a relatively short space of time. So we're in wonderful, esteemed company again. I love that the Rock Hall is really, as for a while now, but is really embracing everybody. You've got Whitney, you've got Pat Benatar.
There's some people that don't like that. So you like
well,
that.
you see, where do we go with that, guys? Isn't that kind of similar to sports? Can I say personality? Sports players that some players play baseball and then they go play football. Isn't that the same kind of thing where there's a bunch of people that go, no, you should only be doing one thing. I think that's pretty, we got a song that one of the first lines is "One life, I'm going to live it up," and it's a blessing to live, right? So if you have an opportunity to show your talent, no matter where it might be, then go ahead and do it. And that's what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is doing now. They're embracing everybody for all different kinds of talents and all different kinds of music.
Do you think it should be renamed the Music Hall of Fame? I guess there's some.
I like rock and roll.
Yeah,
I like rock and roll because it's rock and roll, it's just a beautiful phrase, and it means so many things. I think the institution, for what it represents and how it began, is pretty important to keep that in one place. But I think everybody is aware now that it's more than what rock and roll means. But for me, that really is a great kind of inclusiveness that we've always thrown out as rock and rollers, whether you're a metalhead or a rock and roller, which is embracing everybody, bringing everybody into the room, everybody into the party, regardless of what kind of music it is. Everybody's welcome.
And on the heel of that, when you do finally get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who will be on stage with Rob Halford?
Every time there's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there's a tinge of what if, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's an open book. It's an open book. And, you know, I know what you're alluding to, Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And I, as I've had to in the past, it's just a case of wait and see. It's a case of wait and see.
Got it.
But it's a celebration, and it's 50 years of Priest, and man, it's going to be great. If we get in, it's going to be amazing.
It was just tough with Kiss and the whole Peter Criss and Ace Frehley things.
You
Like,
see, it's not the first band that this has happened to, and on the day, some things turn out the way a lot of people want them. But I was thinking about this the other day, and this thing came into my head. Jim, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or of the one. Spock, Star Trek.
Holy smokes.
Hello?
In the radiation room. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or of the one.
Oh, that's pretty telling.
Isn't
right
that
there.
right?
That's pretty
I think
telling.
Leonard wrote that, or it was somebody put it in the script.
I don't know.
It was great.
I like to think that was ad lib.
That's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Or a inspirational card.
How about that?
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Richie, when we're done with this, please tease the hell out of what he just said.
Hey, everybody.
How about that? He didn't say KK would be a part, but he did say the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
One. Well, he said few and then one.
Right.
Yeah. But he also said it's a wait and see.
So that was 20. Was that 2018 or 20? That had to be 29. What was that?
2019.
Was it
That was
2019?
2019.
Christmas of 2019, because I saw I was wearing a Christmas tree shirt.
Yeah. Little did we know that 4 months from there we'd be shut down for 2 years.
Oh, wow. Technically, COVID had already started around the world. So, wow. Yeah. Think about that.
All right, man. Freak Nation, hopefully you're whipping ass on a Whip Ass Wednesday. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I think Crash and I will be doing on our Friday extravaganza from Salt Lake City as Supercross is wrapping up their 2022 season.
Speaking of 2019, Supercross has not been able, whether it's been COVID itself, just with its stronghold on the entire world, or individual states and their different requirements and laws. Supercross has not had a full media pre-race press conference since January of 2020.
Crash Gladys reporting.
I'm just saying, right before the world shut down. I mean, that's 2.5 seasons of them not having full media at a press conference, and they're gonna do it Friday. I think that's pretty spectacular. It's like, finally.
Right.
I don't know why some of the areas in these last couple of weeks haven't been able to do it, but they just haven't.
Freak Nation, continue to whip some ass on a Wednesday. A lot of day left to whip some ass. Somebody give me a reason to get out of here.
You have a basketball
Suns
game to
minus
go
5, baby. Suns minus 5. Let's go.
This is Big E.
I want residuals.